Okay, let's talk about a topic that we all know and love. The Loch Ness Monster. Nessie is the most loved of all the cryptids. And in this book, Convoluted Universe Book 1 by Dolores Cannon, she asks several of her hypnosis subjects to answer questions about unexplained mysteries around the world. And this is what they had to say about the Loch Ness Monster. It's a freshwater aquatic reptile, an ancient animal. It only evolved up to a certain point, like many insects. It is a gentle, harmless creature, hence the protective coloration that it has to protect others from harming it. Another one of her subjects explains the reason for this stop in evolution. These creatures were landlocked. They were once freely able to travel the world, but in previous Earth shifts where climate changed, caused changes in the salt content in the ocean, and only creatures that were in these isolated areas were able to survive. And as we see here with this map of Loch Ness, wouldn't have been affected by the changes in the ocean. Another one of her subjects say that Loch Ness was almost like a tank because it became a controlled environment for them, and that they reproduce very slowly due to the cold water. Okay, so here's the interesting part. This subject says that there is 7 of them living in Loch Ness. But that's not all. There's many communities of these creatures around the world. Another one of her subjects says, this prehistoric creature got stuck in evolution eons ago, much like the one in Lake Superior. What? Another Nessie? Right here in America? But this has been known by native tribes for a long time. This creature has been associated with many different tribes and goes by many different names, but all very similar. There's actually 3 recorded sightings of Lake Superior Nessie in the 1800s. The subject also says there's a colony of them in Lake Baikal, Siberia. This lake in Siberia is one of the oldest and deepest lakes in the world. And sightings of this lake monster go all the way back to the 1800s. Now, these Nessie-like creatures live in cold water, but several of her subjects say are similar creatures that live in warm lakes in the Amazon and in Africa. Does this explain the giant anaconda of the Amazon basin? Or the alleged dinosaur that lives in the Congo? Now, in this episode of Cosmic Disclosure on Gaia TV, since scientists have discovered a sea of fresh water under our ocean, which you can see part of it has been discovered here between Jersey and Boston, and it says that the water down there is actually from the last ice age. It says it's been speculated for a very, very long time that there's a hole at the bottom of Loch Ness, and that's how Nessie goes up and down. But wait, we have some Loch Ness breaking news from LochNessMystery.com. 5 webcams have been set up around the perimeter so that you from home can watch for Nessie. Before you go, let's talk about the other beast of Loch Ness, Aleister Crowley. As you can see here, right on the shore of Loch Ness, we have the Boleskine House, one of the most infamous and mysterious and most feared manors in all of Scotland. And Aleister Crowley, the beast himself, lived in this house from 1899 to 1913. And many locals believed that it was all his fault why Nessie came to begin with. And this is coming from mysteriousuniverse.org. They have excerpts from Aleister Crowley about the time that he lived in the house. He said he chose this house because he needed somewhere to complete a 6-month ritual. And as we know, he was an occultist and master black magician. However, before he was able to complete this ritual, which involved invoking spirits onto this side, he even covered his terrace in the finest grain of sand that he could find so that he would be able to see the footprints of the spirits. Well, one of the senior members of the Golden Dawn, the magic brotherhood that he was a part of, fell into some controversy. Crowley left and went to Paris to help his friend, leaving the ritual and all the spirits that he just pulled through the portal just to hang out. And locals believe that because he never completed the ritual, this is the reason that Nessie came to the surface. Many believe that since this event, this home has stayed a crossroads or a portal. But the owner before him actually had their head taken off by a mob of people. And then one of the next owners was George Sanders, a British film star, who took his own head off in the house. In his article, Crowley even says several of his housekeepers had lost it, and a friend that stayed in the house with him for a month had gone completely insane after that. He ends the article by saying maybe the Lake of Loch Ness is suffering from the same phenomena as the manor. I don't know, but I'm interested to find out. But none of this can stop a rock star, and that's why Jimmy Page of Led Zeppelin bought the manor in 1970. Rumor has it, he actually composed the Stairway to Heaven while in the home. That wasn't it for the Boleskine Manor. It suffered from 2 vicious fires. Shortly after the entire property was up for sale, let me know in the comments if you would buy this. Front row seats to the Nessie show? And if you want to help rebuild it and be a part of that, you could be memorialized in stone and sponsor a stone. Or for the ghouls that collect creepy oddities for their house, you can buy a little piece of the manor. And if you're wondering how Nessie can go hiding for so long, Loch Ness is so large that every single person on Earth can fit into it 10 times over.